imagination.
Hey, I think my new personality is actually going to be pottery.
Hey everybody, it's Althea.
And Maya.
And this is our podcast,
With our powers combined.
Woo! And today we have a very special guest.
Yes, this is our dear, dear friend, Lizzeth, and we are so excited that she's here, partially because we just love her.
We love her so much.
But for our topic today, I would say she is an unofficial expert in this field, in this theory, in this practice. What are we talking about out there?
Today we are going to be talking about the power of creative outlets.
Woot-woot.
And who better to have than one of our most creative friends, Lizzeth.
Truly so crafty,
Welcome.
so powerful.
Welcome to our podcast. Thank you for being a guest here. We'll just dive into it. I wouldn't put you on the spot. So today we're going to dive into creative outlets, whether it's painting, crafting, writing,
Sculpting.
music, sculpting, pottery, whatever it is. It has the power to get people together. It has a lot of powers, and that's what we're going to talk about today. But let's dive into maybe how we all got into creativity as an outlet. So we can start with Liz. How did you first discover creativity as an outlet?
Okay, so I am like based off of like what my mom says and like stories she's been telling me. I'm kind of like piecing things together, and I'm like, I feel like I had a little bit of like undiagnosed ADHD.
Who's to say?
Who knows? But apparently, I was always like getting into trouble and things, and then all of a sudden like I wasn't getting into as much trouble. And so as far as I can remember, I've been like drawing or like making stuff, and so then I have like a picture of like me when I was 5 years old on like my five-year-old birthday.
How
and
cute.
I have this little like, you remember those like sets they used to like have all the time where it was like the markers and like, you know, the little like crafty
Yes,
kid
yes.
sets. But I had like, I really wanted a princess one from the Disney store. And so then it was like, that's in the frame, and then like the little eye dog thing. So
Yes.
I was like, I've been loving things since I was like 5 years old. So I'm like, I feel like that's pretty young. And like I remember I had like a table that I would like sit at and like draw for hours, and my mom was like, yeah, I used to put you there and you would just like be doodling, or so like I think that's when it started.
Yeah.
And then as an outlet, I feel like it's not, I like feel it more as an outlet when I'm not creating or making things, because I feel like I'm always doing something, and like if it's been too long, then I'm like, oh, something feels wrong and not right, and I'm like extra crabby or cranky or sad. And I'm like, I don't think I've like made anything in a while, and so then I'll make something, and I'm like, oh, that's what was wrong.
Instead of the meme of like, you're not you when you're hungry, you're not you when you aren't crafting, when you aren't being creative, you aren't you.
Yes. I think that's, you touched on a little point that I think is interesting, because you're such a creative person that when you're constantly creating things, sometimes what you're creating or how you're doing it or what you're doing doesn't become an outlet for you, because it's a different kind of like feeling that you have. Whereas, I don't know, I think the best way I can say it, if I'm just doing like graphics and like photos and putting collages together, I like that, but also that's not like my passion. That's not something that is a creative outlet for me. Whereas if it's music and it's just like playing the guitar, then that feels a little bit more, oh yeah, I'm creating things. So I thought that was great that you touched on that. But I also want to hear from Maya, like how creativity is an outlet for you.
I think kind of similar to both of what you just said is one thinking of like, much like Liz, I've been creating for so long. One of my earliest memories as a kid is I think I'm like 4 or 5, and I had just watched Disney's Robin Hood with the little animated fox, and something about the movie just really captivated me as a kid. and we had a little fort in the backyard, and I have a memory of I'm drawing pictures of little Robin Hood and Maid Marian like as foxes, like it was definitely the Disney version, and she has a throwaway line in the movie where she says something about she's been writing him letters. I was writing out what I thought the letters were. And I have a little thing of being like, I miss Robin Hood, like, when's he gonna come see me in London? And it's spelled completely wrong because, you know, I'm 4. But I have, like, this very clear memory of, like, kind of essentially, I guess, writing fan fiction as, like, a 4-year-old. But being like, oh, I want to create, like, an art and story for this. And then my grandmother is an artist. At one time, that was literally her business, was being a professional artist. So she and my grandfather also was very, very musical, always playing guitar. That's how him and my mom connected, was their love of music. So I think I always grew up in a fairly reasonable house. I love my dad so much. He's the only one of us who is not naturally creative in the sense of it's his go-to. My mom and I were just doing a craft for my niece and nephew, and she was joking. She was like, should have been a kindergarten teacher. Like, this is like, I'm so, like, my mom is so crafty, and I think she always pushed that, not like aggressively or anything, but more like always made that available for my brother and I. And I think between her and my grandma and my grandpa, I really was like, yes. So I have very early memories of me painting with like much higher quality product than like a small child should have access to, because it was like my nana's stuff, and doing that, of always wanting to do little doodles. And I don't think I ever felt like I was the best at it. Like it wasn't like I'm really good at this, so I'm gonna keep going. It was always like, man, I see people who are really good at this, and I want to one day get good at it, was kind of more the thought. So, which I think is interesting. Like sometimes kids are like, I'm bad at this, I'm never doing it again. And I felt like I was like, I think I'm okay at this, and maybe one day I could get good at it. And then forever and always it was writing in the background. Always writing. I think that's more my go-to creative outlet, where if I'm like, oh, I will just start mindlessly like thinking of a story in my head and go, I should write that down. Whereas I'll look and I go, that'd be a really cool painting, and I go, I don't know if I can do it. And I'll kind of psych myself out of it.
Yeah. I think for me, it's kind of interesting because growing up with a lot of siblings, I think I saw what they're all doing. And so I've kind of adapted to, like, you know, as a young person, like you have their role model. So obviously I wanted to do what they're doing. And so I was surrounded by like, one of my sisters draws a lot. Like she does cartoons and graphic, like animations, like stuff. And I would try to do that, but I was never good at drawing. She would try like to teach me, but I just was always impatient. So I can doodle, but I've never been like as good as her. Kind of like thinking about, you know, I'm not that good, but I'll try. But what I've really adapted to, or my earliest memory of like, oh, this is something that I want to get good at, or like a creative outlet, is music, like piano and like singing. I've always been surrounded with, so that I feel like that's the one that came naturally to me. And then I was always surrounded by photographers and videographers, and so that's something that I've also like adapted and gotten good at, and was like, yeah, I love all of these things. And so just growing up, I always like kind of shadowed all of these creative things and did all of them. And like one of my sisters still loves crocheting, like doing like cross stitches, and so I dabbled in like tiny little things, but music and photography and videography is my outlet. Like this technology wise digital things is my outlet.
I'm curious. I know that we both talked a little about family. Would you say that your family is like reasonably creative? Like, is that something that
I think so.
Was encouraged in the house?
My dad actually knows how to draw. I think I was the one that kind of like took it and like like flew with it. Yeah, but I would say my mom is a very crafty, creative. I grew up with her watching HGTV, so she was always watching like the teardown, like back when HGTV wasn't just like selling houses, but it was like the tearing down, like redesign, and like, oh, this with this looks good and this with this looks
like
good.
the furniture, the color, the aesthetic of the place.
And then like she's always like to like I had a weird emo scene kid phase and hated everything, but she like really wanted me to like girly things. I was like, no, but then now I like those and things and girly things. But I feel like her like fashion style or whatever too is like there's like different ways to like express yourself, and I feel like she shows a lot of creativity with that. And then my dad's like really good at tinkering with things or just like figuring how to do things, and he'll always like find some like random thing to do. He's like,
that's what you got from him. It's just
I think so, yeah. And then he when I was growing up, I think he had like a lot of like childlike wonder habits, and then he had like from the Bible was like be like a child. So I was like, yeah. So like I feel like I always like try to like, not that I like do childish things, but I feel like it kind of like I don't want to lose that like childlike wonder, and I feel like a lot of it is with creativity or like finding things and like so he'd be like buying toys and things, and I just like I would like playing with Play-Doh or like making stuff or like the toys that he would bring or like whatever, like drawing those things or like he liked comic books too, and like so then I liked superheroes and comic books, and so then it just became like I like all the weird nerdy art stuff.
Yeah, I love that as creatives, like whatever you're doing, like we find beauty in everything. I think in everything that we do or everything that we see, we always kind of see the beauty and wonder in it. You were just talking about like not wanting to lose that awe and wonder, and I think as creatives we always have to have that awe and wonder for things, right? I
think especially also we talked about this a little bit when we did our storytelling episode, but there can start to be a mindset of like there's only one kind of creative, which is absolutely not true. No. But like literally when you talk about your family being like, yeah, my dad's like creative in the way that like he fixes things and the way that he builds things is like very creative, that your mom can be creative in like fashion, even you being like, okay, all of my siblings are creative in all these different ways, what's the one that speaks to me, what's the one that I get creative in, which I think is always really important to keep in mind when people think I'm not a creative person. It's like you probably just haven't found the thing yet, or you have, but you aren't labeling it as creative.
Exactly.
Where like I think of that with like I know people who are truly so creative in the way that they cook and they do not think about it at all, and I'm like, the fact that you said this needs a sauce and immediately went, I bet it should be this kind with these flavors, I'm like, you are being creative, because I would have said this burger needs a sauce and I would have gone and grabbed ketchup and you made a crazy sauce out of all these like there is creativity in what you just did.
I think about that even with like administrative stuff too. I just think about like Excel spreadsheets and all of this, and I was like, those are creative things. Those take, because when you're creating things, you're building something. And so if you're able to build something, even systems could be creative, right?
Like at work I do like graphs and things, or like I don't like, I liked I also dabbled in fanfic writing, whatever stuff, because it's just like storytelling, and storytelling is really captivating and stuff, but
we were talking about logical like spreadsheets being creative, and you were talking about graphs.
So I don't like writing and stuff, but I like organizing information and like visualizing it and trying to like figure out how to like lay it out visually. And so like I feel like that's fun.
Think about
even
presentations.
Though it's like more, even though it's like more of like the boring side, quote unquote, of creativity, like that's like so much fun to kind of like make it like the most accessible for people. And I feel like creativity is like a lot of when you're like bringing other people into it, it's like bringing in like accessibility, or like again beauty, like bringing in like beauty into the world, or like stuff like that.
Again, it's like the tinkering and trying to make
or like
things
creating
better
spaces.
For people.
And again, even with organizing, there are times where I look at the way that someone has organized something, like the system they've made, and I'm like, I would have never thought to do that. And they're explaining it, and I'm like, that makes so much sense. I completely understand where your head is at. Never would have occurred to me. Never in a million years would I have thought to organize something that way. Or they build, like, people who are, like, organizers and builders. And they're like, oh, let me build this device that's then going to allow... I'm like, how? How did you even do... Who thought there was a need for this? I'm like, you're right, there is, but how did you know?
Yeah.
It's truly incredible.
Yeah, you know what I think about too is like, you know, sometimes like you would see Japanese products. It's like the squeeze bottle for ketchup. It's like little tiny things. I was like, that is so creative. You know, so
I went to school for industrial design. It's not what I do right now, but it's like the whole mindset of like you find a problem and you like solve for it,
right.
And then like a lot of it comes into like ergonomics and like how people hold things in their hands or like the intuitive way to do it, and then you like make it pretty. Because if you leave it to engineers who are creative in a different way, it'll just be boxes.
It will not be pretty.
Yeah. And so you need the power of both of them combined.
I love that we're talking about how it's such a good segue into my next question, that we're talking about how creativity, it helps other people. So my question is, what is a defining moment for you, if there ever is one, that you can remember that showed you how powerful creativity could be for you?
Ooh, I like that one.
You're
That's
welcome.
a good one. You're so good at this.
Thank you. I should be in a podcast.
Maybe you should use your creative skills to Is that the crickets one? I feel like it should have been crickets.
I think that should have been the badumts.
I think it should have been the cricket because that was so bad.
None of us have headphones on.
I just realized that, and I was like, oh.
I know the pink one is the imagination.
I was gonna say, to answer your question, that I have kind of two very similarly related memories, where I remember being in school and I had the first time I ever had teachers who offered a different way to do a project. Where, like, you know, you'd always in elementary school bring in your poster, get up and give your presentation. Sometimes we're book report dressed like the kid. Like there were elements of creativity, but it was always, here's the thing you have to do, be creative within that space. And I remember the first time that I had a professor, I keep saying professor, this was in high school, who said, literally, here's the list of 40 different things you could do. And if there's something on this list that like appeals to you, do it. If there's something that you feel like is missing, tell me about it and do it. And it was truly whatever you wanted to do. And I was like, oh, it was a history class, and we were doing like ancient civilizations, and me and my friends, we did a fashion show. Because one of the girls in my friend group was really into fashion, and she was like, can we try? So we like made little like beaded necklaces, and we like made, and like, were they super well made? No, but we like did a little runway, and then someone who was like more, I don't want to be on camera, she like wrote the script and did like voiceover for what was happening, and we like made this video. And I was like, oh, this is revolutionary. This is insane in my mind. And it was the first time we did it. It was so fun. I still remember so much of the information from that presentation because it was so different. But I was also like, oh yeah, literally anything can be creative. Like a creativity can be applied to any topic. And if you are passionate about the thing, it's going to be game changing, because we put in so little 14-year-olds, we put in so much effort into this fashion show project for our history class, because we were like, this rules. And it was crazy. I'd never been offered that kind of creativity before in like an academic setting. And after that, I would ask in classes if I was allowed to do something
like
and
outside
it like
of the box.
Definitely broadened the horizons. And it was a lot of fun.
I love that. I love that you were able to bring like fashion, something creative that she loved, into a history class.
Oh yeah. And someone else was had been thinking about maybe she wanted to do like any kind of like videography, so she was like, I'll bring my camera, like all set up. So it really was it was a truly with our powers combined moment where like all of us brought something that we were good at and mixed it together, and we were like, what's happening, it's magic, like we got so hyped about it, and it was really fun, and we had a great time filming in our little field doing our fashion show.
So cute. That reminds me, I think for me, in elementary school, I loved, so there would be like Teachers Appreciation Day, like all of those things. But my classmates and I, we love like collaborating together for different things. And I remember we loved doing like, oh, let's do something special for the teachers. Aww. And so I would always be the like director for things of like what we need to do. And so I would be like, okay, we're gonna do this video, we're gonna gather all the people. So somebody would be like the one who contacts like all the classmates and says, hey, by this time you're gonna be here and we're gonna record you, like saying thank you to the teacher. And I would be the one to compile all of those things into a video, put them together, and we literally like rented one of the rooms after class to show the teachers our little video. Aww. I just got reminded of that. So I love, like, I think that's for me is like one of the defining moments is when I was really young, like even the collaboration of that, of being creative, of like you guys, of just like, oh yeah, we can do this together, we can go outside of the box, put in things that we all love and kind of puzzle it together. I'm also reminded we had like a World's History Month, and then our class got assigned America.
I know that
and
place.
So what we did, it's like, so we were in the Philippines. It's context. Context, we're Filipinos.
You are?
We're in 5th grade. And so we did like Mount Rushmore. So one of us knew how to draw, and she's really good at it. So she drew a whole Mount Rushmore like in her art class. And then I think we did a program of like you walk through like the Hollywood stars. So we put Hollywood stars all over like a red carpet into the classroom. And then you have like the different like Mount Rushmore, Hollywood. There's can't even remember.
Those are the two big ones.
Those are the two big ones. Oh, we have celebrities, but they're the teachers. And so we had like plaques on the walls and stuff. So things like that. I think those were like really defining moments for me of like big creative things.
Kind of wild to think about what America is.
Yeah, it's our minds.
To 5th graders in the Philippines, it's Hollywood, but also Mount Rushmore.
And celebrities.
Which is so funny.
And movies.
Because I think I forget about Mount Rushmore all the time, and I love that you were like,
me too.
Isn't it crazy that they
that
have
one?
Well, I guess if you're thinking about celebrities, you're like they love celebrities. They got stars and they got celebrities' faces in a mountain.
Yeah.
I feel like I think about Statue of Liberty more than I think about Mount
we did
Rushmore.
have Statue of
Liberty.
Liberty.
That checks out.
Probably the Golden Gate Bridge too.
Huh.
There you go.
Yeah. So
like
New York is what we got. I think we
And
might
also
have
Mount
Charlie
Rushmore.
Chaplin too. But I want to hear from you.
It doesn't matter. We simply
I'm trying to move on.
We simply can't.
How about you, Liz? Is there a defining moment?
I don't
the power
know
of creativity.
about like specifically defining moment, but like as you were talking, I think like one of the cool things about like being an advanced creative person is that so part of it is like once you like gain a certain skill set, like it's so crazy how like transferable it is to other things, right? And within that is like you're gaining a whole bunch of skills in your skill tree. And then someone new coming in that like needs help, or like at school or whatever, people would be like stressed the heck out because they're like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this, and I'm like, oh, let me solve all your problems. And then like I just love when like when we have our craft days and stuff, it's like it was like you and like the three of us, but also last craft day was like people that aren't like as crafty or like don't dabble in crafts constantly, but like no, you can do it. You can do it. Let me
have
help.
The power.
You can do it. And so like making creativity like accessible to other people, or like I think like also when people would have like, I think teachers, I don't know, I've just been put in the position of like, oh, you're crafty, you know how to draw, you know how to do this thing, can you like teach other people how to do it? And so then like being put in that role of like being able to teach other people how to be creative is like really rewarding. I think, because I feel like people were like, oh, I can't do it, I'm not good enough. It's not about like being good enough, it's about like you just do it and try it, and if it's okay if it breaks, because you could always fix it unless it's like irreplaceable. But even then, like restarting like is always better, even though it's like a hassle.
I love that you're able to show people that, hey, you can have free expression. Like it's like there are no rules to this. Like you can do whatever your heart desires. But I think that's why people like tend to be intimidated with crafting, is because it feels like give me rules, give me all the things,
and then there's comparison too, because you're like looking at someone who's like already so like good in it, but they don't know like the hours and hours and like all the ugly babies that like, came out at first.
Like a tutorial, like I love watching an online tutorial to try to figure out how to do something, and on some levels it's obviously so helpful, but there is that moment where they show you, and here's your final product, and then you look at your final product and you go, hold on, I think I missed a step.
Is there a disconnect?
So it can also like even with the teachers, sometimes you're like, well, they do it so good, so you do have to remember like, they've been doing it for you long. Their first version looked like this. There was a first draft of the Mona Lisa and it didn't look that good.
Exactly.
It got better.
And also there's like something special about like recreating the same thing and it not looking exactly like the original, because it's like that, it's because it's yours. Because maybe it's nice to be special.
We're really trying to work on that right now with my nephew. Is he has such a clear vision in his head of what he wants it to look like, the way that we all have such a clear vision of what we want things to look like. And he will get so upset because he doesn't have the hand-eye coordination yet. So it doesn't look exactly. So he'll tell my mom, he'll be like, Emma, you do it. And so they're really working with him to be like, buddy, your version looks perfect because it's your version. Like he was trying to write a card for someone. He wanted my mom to draw like a picture in the card, and my brother had to be like, buddy, they want to see your picture. Like they love Emma. They don't want Emma's picture. They want your picture. So you've got to draw it. And he's finally starting to build that of like feeling like it's more, even if it doesn't look perfect, to be like, yeah, it's mine, and it looks like kind of like what I was picturing, and he's starting to get over that. But it's a huge hurdle to get over when it comes to being creative.
With that, did you ever feel like we've talked about since we were little, we've always kind of been creative, and as you know, we grow and develop and really develop that skill as well. And I think there comes a point where we get a little burnt out with creativity. So I want to ask, like, if you've gone through that, like a creative burnout, like maybe challenges you've gone through of like, I don't know, I just feel like I can't write right now, or I can't do that right now. What was your experience like, and maybe how have you overcome that?
Okay, two things. I think back when I was like mostly just drawing, I think I'd get art block a lot more. And this was like, I don't know, middle school, high school. Like I like to do like stuff with clay and things, but like you always have resources to a pen and paper or like pencils or like whatever. So I was like doing that mostly, but then I don't know, I just started experiencing more crafts or like more stuff, and now I feel like I don't get art block or burnout because there's so many different things that I can do. I do get frustrated when something's not going my way, but like there's no like burnout, because it's like you're burning out of a specific thing. Like crocheting, I don't get burnt out from crocheting, but like because I do a lot of crafting, I have a little bit of
it's like your physical, it's a physical burnout.
It's for physical burnout. So my little hand can't, and so Jonathan tells me to take breaks. I'm gonna, but it's so much fun. And so then I'll like paint instead, or like do something else. And so like that's a thing. But I will say that I've hit a wall with knitting. Because it's not as fast, because I picked up crochet first, technically. Like I learned that one all the way through first. And so it's like a lot faster to get something done within like a week, like this cardigan, versus like knitting is like, and the stitches are like different and smaller, and so it's just like, I want to be so good at it, but it's like I need to go back to
right now.
And I like mostly like learn off of like projects, and so there's not like any projects that I want to do for like, there are knitting projects, but I feel like they're too advanced and I need to like slow down and learn the other stitches, because a lot of it is like muscle memory, and that's like another thing that people need to understand is you need to build muscle memory for things too. I feel that. I think for me, I don't know if I've had a creative burnout. I think it's more that I have fears. I think to the point of Jaden being like, you do it, you're so much better, mine is not. I am the same. And so as you were talking about that, I was like, yeah, I need to hear that.
I too am like, a 4-year-old.
Yeah, I need to know that, hey, like, it's not that I can't put anything out. It's my fears is that I'm fearful of giving what's mine or giving out what's mine because of the vulnerability of that. I'm saying that more in terms of music. When I was 12, I like wrote songs and it just came easy. Well, easy, right? Because I just didn't have fears. But so when I was a teenager, I remember like writing songs a lot with my sister, and it just like, it was just free. It was an outlet, and it was like, okay, yeah. And then I hit probably 17, 18, and I started going to college, and I went to college for music, and it's like, oh, there's all of these people around me, and they're so much better, and I'm just mediocre. I'm just here. I'm just enjoying music. And so I think there came a point where it's like, it's hard for me to write songs, to get it out, because there is a fear that blocks me from actually like getting out. So I've been trying for a couple of years now to like find ways to like build the skill of songwriting without it feeling like there's so much pressure or borders. So yeah, that's where I am good. With like creative burnout. It's not really a burnout, but it's more of a
like limitations.
Yeah, it's more of a fear
roadblock.
Wall that I'm trying to like push through and break. Yeah, if you're with me, you can do it. They want to hear you. Yeah. How about you, Maya?
I think that a lot of times it's more related to like busyness is definitely the thing that takes me out. A lot of my favorite creative pursuits take a lot of time. Like even like my favorite form of art is watercolor. You gotta wait for it to dry. Right. If the water has not fully dried and you go to put another color on top of it, it's gonna smudge.
It's a muddy mess.
And if you are trying to do that, fantastic. But if you aren't trying to do that, then you're like, dang it, I layered the colors wrong and now it's gonna dry that. So you really do have to. It's like you gotta work really quick and then you gotta wait for a really long time. And then you gotta work really quick and then you gotta wait. And there were just times I was like, man, I don't have time to sit here and do this. And then same with writing, is there would be times where I'd be like, oh, I'm like writing the story, and then almost partway through I'd be like, okay, I'm like stressed, got a lot going on, I can't like write right now, so I'll pause, I'll get back to it, and then I get back to it and I go, I don't remember where I was. Shoot. What were they? I should have outlined this. Where are they going? What was the plot I was writing? Yeah. And then so much time has passed, especially like you obviously you continue to get better at something. So if it was like, oh, it's been 8 months since I've written this story, and I come back and go, oh, well, my writing style is different now. And then I would go, well, I have to scrap all of this.
Now I have to start all over.
So like
again.
that would be a huge deterrent, is I would start to get in the mindset of like, I have to create in this huge like chunk of time. I got to do everything. I've got 20 minutes to outline my entire novel and write all of the characters and all of their personalities and all of the major plot points, and I've got to describe the town they're going to be in, and if there's any it's all going to be in these next 20 minutes. I got to do it. And then I would try to like bulk write like so much, or like with art, I'd be like, okay, I'm going to make this painting. And right now I'm in the headspace to do it. So I got to do it right now. And it would then put like pressure on me. So so it started to not become like, this is such a fun, creative hobby that I have, and was like, this is something that I got to do really good all the time. So I definitely have started to realize that in really, really busy seasons, I can't create, because then it's not actually an outlet. It becomes one more thing that I feel like stressed about, is my busyness and stress takes over. And then my creative fun things also become that. So I'm like, okay, I have to not do that, or I have to be very intentional and say, I'm going to schedule that this Saturday is a craft day.
Yes.
And I'm going to be prepared. I'm going to look up a couple things that I want to do. And I'm going to say I have all day to create literally anything.
Yeah.
And then that has kind of helped me overcome that feeling of like, I got to do it really intensely. And I think doing that sporadically also forces me to kind of overcome the stress and busyness that wants to prevent me from being creative.
Yeah. Set aside time intentionally to be creative is really good. I love that we, as Liz mentioned, we recently did a craft day, and that was really fun.
It was so good.
It was so good.
It's so funny not being able to hear it.
Yeah, I think that was having that time, like setting aside an intentional time, not just alone, but with friends, even to just say, hey, let's do something fun together and something creative, because that's something that we all love to do. It was healing for me.
Aww.
I want to ask, what's some like breakthroughs or moments in your creative journey that has become healing for you, or something that, you know, has just helped you out in your own personal life, or how has it impacted your life?
I have a moment where maybe senior year. This was a summer, I think. So like 2013, 2012, somewhere around there. But I was painting this like elephant guy. It was just like a little elephant baby. And as I was like painting it, I was just like looking at it, and it was like almost done, but not all the way done. But I was just looking at it, and I was like, I really love this guy. He's just so cute. He's not perfect, but he's mine. And then it just makes me feel really good. And then it was like, I just got hit with like a realization of like, that's how God sees you. And I'm like, oh no, my heart, the feels. And so then I think ever since then, it was just kind of like, wow, like I can like worship God through like painting and art, even if it's not specifically like something like Jesus related or anything, but it's just like creating is like, or specifically like painting or like stuff like that is like, because crochet is like different. It's more like nervous tick a little bit. It's like a stress. It's like a fidget. Reliever. It's like my fidget spinner. But yeah, it was just like a really sweet moment, and I
love that.
Yeah,
that's so sweet. I think that for me, I often use my creativity like to process other things. I think it like gives me simultaneously like distance from the thing, but also allows me to like be back in the thing in a different way. Right. So I can think of like multiple different times, because I would say my three main creative outlets are like writing, it's music, and like it's art. Different times in which I, not even intentionally, but was like unintentionally processing something in my life like through that outlet, and in that I was like, oh, like that's how I feel, like writing a story and being like, and then this happens, and like just and being like, oh, that's how like I felt when that happened, and not even realizing it, and then being like, oh, and my other character comforting them like really does make that makes little 10-year-old me feel a lot better about that circumstance. Or like with music, like I remember writing a song one time because I was trying to one of the few times it was intentional. that I was feeling really sad about a circumstance, and I was telling my piano teacher, and she was like, you should write a song about that. And she like helped me like write a song and like helped me, because I had the words, but I was like, I don't know how to write a song. So she like played the music with me and helped me write it. And I was like, this does make me feel better to kind of process my feelings. And many a time with art being like, man, I just feel stressed and I want to like make something. And while I'm painting something, thinking like, this is so beautiful and I love this, like have this feeling of like, yeah, sometimes things take time, and I'm like, yeah, it's gonna take time. But I do think that's often been the way that it's like been healing, is it's been a way for me to process feelings and be like, I don't have to fully look at my circumstance right now, but I can kind of glance at it, and it doesn't look as scary when I look at it from this angle, and that's been helpful.
I think for me it's the same for with what you guys already have said as well. I think with music and songwriting, I've had I think for me that's very personal. That's why it's hard for me to like share it in public, because I'm like, yeah, these are all my journal entries. And it's like, yeah, it's vulnerable, but that's why it's like kind of healing, because it is processing things that have happened. And it's like, I have like a song for my mom, a song for like this situation, a song for this. So that's been really helpful in processing.
Creating
things.
is a very vulnerable thing to do.
It is.
Even like once I'm done with it, like you could look at it, it's fine. But like in the process,
like,
it's not done yet.
Yeah,
Stop looking over my.
It's me.
It's not done.
Yeah, it's me in our craft day, knowing that I want little pumpkins, but not knowing if they're just gonna be a ball or if they're gonna turn into actual pumpkins. I'm like, I'm just gonna trust the process and stab all of these things. I'll show you what it looks like.
It looked beautiful.
Thank you.
So cute.
Thank you. But even in that of like having a craft day, it's because that's not my natural outlet for things, but it was still sort of therapeutic for me to do something new with my hands. And it helped me realize that, hey, I can do things that I don't usually do. Like I can create something with my own hands, and just the satisfaction of starting something, going through the process, and then having a finished product in your hand in a span of a couple of hours feels like you can take over the world.
It does.
If you want to, you know, like
I can do hard things.
I can do hard things. Like, oh my gosh, this little tiny sliver of moment I spent with my day just literally refreshed me and restarted kind of like my whole system, rebooted my system of like, okay, I can plan my days, I can start big projects in my own life and like do all the things. So I think that is what like creative things help me out with my personal life. So yeah, we should do more craft days, just FYI. Yeah, we did one for Christmas, and we did this year for fall.
We did.
And I'm saying that to tell you should do craft days with your friends.
Absolutely.
And the theme, I feel like, makes it less stressful, because sometimes, even though you are a creative person, having like all the access in the world for everything is kind of like like I like rules. I like having like boundaries,
like a little bit of
so
a guideline.
So I'd like can like, it was funny because like my boss at like my old job was like, it's like, oh, I just wanted to see like what you could do, like creative. I'm like, no, give
like,
me the rules,
exactly
give me the boundaries,
do.
and then I will express my freedom, creativity,
Right.
because I know what to do. But
Yes.
anyways, so that's
I
I feel like themes make it a lot more accessible.
Yeah.
So if you are someone who feels like maybe you're not the most creative and you've struggled with it, consider maybe you need a different outlet. There's more than what we just talked about even in this episode. So consider looking into other things. Look at even just things that you care about. You're probably already being kind of creative in the things that you care about. And consider maybe the problem is that you don't have enough boundaries. Maybe the world is your oyster, but your world is too big. You need a smaller oyster to work with.
Yes.
And you need time.
Yes.
Right.
It's not going to be perfect the first time. Whatever your vision is, you almost certainly will not nail it immediately.
Yeah.
You're going to have a lot of ugly babies, and it's okay. They're beautiful still.
Hey, Maya did an acorn bag, just shouting it out because I want to show them what it looks like, and it's so cute. But it took her a couple of tries before she got to the acorn bag, so never give up.
Reevaluate the plan.
Yeah, you made a template, and I
still needed a lot of help from someone to make it even possible.
But you did it with your own hands.
Yes,
and it was a collab. We're calling it a collab.
It's a collaboration.
Yes, it was a collab.
The first of many.
First of many. Yes.
I love that we as friends make space for creative outlets. And we already kind of did. We gave them a tip of like, hey, if you're someone who says I'm not creative, like find ways to do that. But I want to hear if you guys have any like creative practices that keep you like grounded. Like something that reminds you of like, because I know we have our like jobs. So what's something that like keeps you going, keeps you motivated?
I got something if you're still pondering.
Okay. Tag it.
I like learning new things and learning new crafts. And so I feel like that keeps me grounded in looking towards new things. Plus, it just feels good for your ego to be like, I learned a new skill.
Yes.
But
achievement unlocked.
Not to toot my own horn or anything, but I've learned how to paint. And I think it's also like trial and error because I love to paint. There's like certain mediums that I love more than other ones. So watercolor is fun. I don't do it as often, but gouache, oh my gosh, I love gouache. And then acrylics are fun. And it also depends on the feel of like what mood I'm in. Sometimes I'll start and like, I don't want to do that today. Oil painting takes too long. So I'm like, no, thank you. And then I did a metalsmithing class. That was really fun. I don't have the resources to do it. Same thing with pottery. The dream is to one day have a kiln and a big house and host all the people and be like, make stuff at my house.
Sign me up.
Don't be afraid, and we can make stuff together. So that's the dream. And then, I just like anything that you can find to do, just do it and try it. And like, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Yeah. Like, I was in band also. Not band. I played the flute for a little bit and that didn't go through. And then back when I was like starting the worship team for the first time a couple of years back, I bought a guitar and I tried to learn it, but my hands like, and not that like I couldn't pick it up because I did pick it up, but I just, my hands itched to do something else creatively. And I said, I can learn this, but really I don't.
At what cost?
I don't, at the cost of like drawing. And I was just like, I was picking up like other things more than I was like the music stuff. So I was like, this just isn't for me. Yes. And I think that's fine.
Yes.
And those are, I guess practices or like thoughts are try everything. If it's not for me, it's fine. Yeah. And if you love something and you're not in the mood for it, that's okay. Yeah. Pick up something else.
Yes. I was going to say the same, kind of along the same lines of that, as I was going to say that for me, what keeps me grounded with creative outlets or creativity in general is knowing that I can pick it up and put it down anytime. And that, hey, there is no shame in like picking it up or putting it down because there are so many creative things that we can do. So that's me.
I think I always just would say start simple. It is so easy to like, often the really advanced things are the things that are going to catch your eye because they're the most visually interesting, they're the most like engaging thing to look at. You're probably not going to start with a symphony. I don't know you, maybe you are, but you're probably not. You're probably not going to start with like a giant oil painting, like self-portrait. You're going to need to start small. You're probably not going to start with your novel. Write a short story. Like, just start with something simple because if you start with something big and it's hard, then you go, well, this is hard.
Yeah.
But if you start with something small and you go, man, this is a lot of work and I don't want to pour into it, now you know. And you're like, okay, literally you in music being like, I can do this, but this doesn't really speak to me.
Yeah.
I have other things that speak to me. And you said, great, I'm going to go that way. Kind of similar is you don't want to be like, hey, I think my new personality is actually going to be pottery. I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to buy the kiln and I'm going to get all the supplies and I'm going to try and build like this. I'm going to sculpt this beautiful vessel. And then you go, oh, it's just like so hard to get the wheel going. And you go, I made a terrible mistake and now I'm in too deep. Just start small. Like go to a pottery class and be like, I'm going to try this. I'm going to try to make one of those little pinch bowls and go, yes. Oh my gosh. And this is going to be a passion.
There's like so much, like everything's so accessible with like Amazon now too. Yeah. Where you want to try pottery, maybe don't put it in a kiln and do some air dry clay. Yeah. That's like what, $10 for like a bag for like a thing of it.
And there are so many videos online now where you can figure out how to do it. There are so many, like you can take local community classes, like at a college, at a rec center. Like they do them on Zoom now. And if it's like, if you buy the product, we'll teach you how to do, it's like.
They have kits.
Yes.
Yeah. It's great.
Yeah. Everything is, as you said, is so accessible. Yeah. You just have to start looking if you really want to like dabble into something new. I mean, Maya and I went to a dance class together. Go watch it. It's right there somewhere. Link it in the thing down below.
Link in the description.
But yeah, it's like it's right in your hands. But as Maya said, start simple. And I love this conversation that we're having, and we could be here forever. Oh yes,
but and we will. Oh,
we will.
I'm wrong.
But we gotta end it for the peoples. But we will keep on talking. Liz, thank you for being here and joining us on All Things Creative. We are so honored and privileged to have a friend here.
Thank you for making the long commute. That's so long. I know traffic was a nightmare, so I really appreciate it.
Y'all are wild. That's the end of our video. Keep on being creative. If you have any questions or if you want to know anything about us, follow us on social media. Our podcast handle is at wopc.podcast. Liz is also on social media. I know she has some art stuff, so if she wants it linked down below, we will link it down below.
And if not, find her in real life and see if she'll let you follow her. Not in a creepy way. Just like if you don't happen to run into her.
Okay, if you've stayed around for this long and you know some person and you are a lady, because usually craft days are ladies only, I'm sorry. I'm the married woman.
So powerful.
Anyways, if you know us in real life and you want to come to a craft day, just let us know. And
let us know.
You're invited automatically. Gold star.
Let's go. Gold star.
I have a craft room. Come over. We'll find you something.
She is.
And we will find you something.
We will find
you
our
something
friends
to do.
We found our specific friends something to do. We went to Michael's and she found something and she had a fun time.
It's like something new. Yeah.
Absolutely.
We can call her, we can craft.
Yeah. If you have any craft projects that you're working on, you can let us know in the comments.
Show us if you want to.
Tag us on Instagram. Show us what you're working with.
All right, that's the end of our podcast. We will see you next week. This has been your host, Althea.
And your host, Maya.
And our friend,
Liz.
And we will see you next time. Bye!